The chopping block is me. All right. Hopefully you can see my screen by now, and if you can't, I have to read out what's on this screen, because I'm going to be talking about tricks on how to get more emails opened. The reason why I'm talking about this particular subject is I wrote most of the emails for our pre-launch for Masters of Conversion, and most of our emails had massive open rates. Actually, all the emails had massive open rates, some of them bigger than others. We had one email that got 69.8% open rate and a 25% click-through. We had another one that got a 52.8% open rate. Actually, a lot of them were around the 50-40% mark. Now, those of us that know anything about open rates, 20% is normally considered like awesome. Now, a lot of big companies that mail their list a lot, they're happy to get 10, 12%, it's about normal. And then really, really big lists are in single digits. So, these are massive open rates. So, how the heck did I do it? What did I incorporate into these emails? Okay, so first thing, something that most people do not talk about. And I'm not going to mention the subject line, though that's important. There's something else that needs to be addressed. And that is the first line of the email. Okay? Because I know in many email programs, you can have preview. You can actually see the first line of an email without reading the email, without opening it up. I know in my account, I can see the first line without pressing any buttons. So what that means is the very first line in your emails has got to be captivating. You've got to get people's attention. How do you do that? You make a shocking statement. You say something provocative. You ask a question, you go against convention, you do something that's going to make them do a double take, okay? So that first line is extremely, extremely important, okay? Now, the subject header. I have to talk about the subject header because, that's probably the most important and then the first line, but subject headers are hugely important, and again, you've got to say something shocking, something personal, that works really well, something unusual, something quirky. If you get this in mind, you are emailing another person, and that person is your friend. So imagine you're emailing a friend. What do you put in the subject line? Here are some ideas. Bad news, good news, I'm sorry, where are you, ? Are you there? In a business context, I need your shipping address. Or one really cool one that Frank Kern uses, worst sales letter ever. He got me to open up on that one a few times, because of the work that I do. But all of these are very curiosity-provoking, but they're also very personal, okay? Very, very important. Now, to get an understanding of human nature when it comes to these sorts of emails, what I like to do is regularly stay abreast of the National Enquirer. Okay. Now, it sounds a bit silly because the National Enquirer is like such a, it's such a cheap magazine. When I say cheap, I do not mean the price. However, if you scan the covers of National Enquirer magazines, the teaser boards on the covers are incredibly, incredibly attention-getting. So I'll give you some examples. Here's one that's, I've got one in front of me right now. Something is wrong with the twins. And that happens to be for Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Something is wrong with the twins. Now, one idea is to use that as a template. So if you've got let's say, for example, you've got a celebrity in the industry, okay, that is very common, very well known in your industry. You could use that as the template. Something is wrong with an insert blank. If that celebrity is really, really well known, you're going to get some attention on that subject header. Okay, here's another one. He cheated for years, hyphen, how his wife busted him. And it speaks to infidelity, backstabbing. Again, that's a very strong emotion. How do you use that? Well, you can use that as a template. He cheated. Well, here's another one. Hollywood's deadliest diets. Hollywood's deadliest diets. Well, there's a launch that I'm actually currently a part of. I've actually done the entire campaign for it. And I positioned this young 19-year-old as Hollywood's Facebook guru. Hollywood's Facebook guru. So that's extremely compelling. How else can you get emails opened? Okay, we need to talk about mobile devices. So little is covered in mobile devices. A lot of people check their emails on iPhones and Blackberries and everything else. What does that mean? That means your subject headers need to be even snappier than normal. On my iPhone, when I check my email, all I get to see is 2 words, 2 measly words in the subject header. So if those 2 words don't grab me, I won't check the email at that time. And during our pre-launch, one of our biggest, most successful emails was titled Frank Kern's Secret Weapon. And that was about the interview we did with Jen. And so you look at it from a mobile phone perspective. Frank Kern was in the subject header. What's Frank? Frank Kern, what's going on? He's a celebrity for our industry. And so on and so forth. I'm going a bit past my time, but there's something else that is very important I want to mention around email open rates, and that's this: cliffhangers. Make sure you have cliffhangers. So I'm going to read you 4 paragraphs from one of our emails that had a massive open rate. Here it is. And a click-through rate, sorry. What if you could predict the outcomes of your marketing with near 80% accuracy? What if you could know in advance whether your website, product launch, or email marketing is going to be profitable? And what if you could do all of this with an easy-to-use magic tool? Well, believe it or not, you can. Insert hyperlink. Now, if you've got any interest in online marketing, any interest in having profitable emails and launches and websites, it's pretty hard not to click on that link. So, there we go. Hopefully you found all that very helpful. There's a lot more that we can talk about, a lot more that I can cover in terms of emails, but those are the key big points when it comes to getting more emails opened. Now, there's something important to mention here.